So we have Slitherine, we have Matrix Games, and then I was just kind of curious, how big, in regards to staffing and locations, is Matrix and Slitherine? How many locations do you have, and regarding and also staffing?
That's a complicated question. We have to try and sit down and work it out every time someone asks this because it's changing quite dramatically. Um, so we're growing pretty fast. Office wise, our largest office is in Epsom in the UK. We have, well, when lockdown started, we had 12 people, but I think we're up to 14. So when we actually do open the office, I'm not sure where everyone's sitting. That's a problem. We'll have 14, 15 in the UK in the office anyway. There's a number of others in the UK, but working remotely. The next largest office is Milan. And Marco, I can't remember. You need to answer that. How many you've got right now?
Uh, we've got we've got 8.
And that's primarily the marketing team. Then on top of that, we have a small office in Edmonton in Canada. We have a small office in Romania, Bucharest in Romania. Um, the majority of people work from home remotely. So we've always been a distributed business, partly because of how things have grown up over time. Um, we've kind of sucked in people from various places. So a lot of the people that we've recruited are people we either already knew or fans that we've recruited through the games. And so location wise, there's never been a central, we haven't been kind of advertising for a job in a certain place. We've been picking up people that we wanted and we've been taking them, the best people we could find wherever they were, rather than trying to find people that wanted a job in a specific location. And so we are quite heavily distributed. We've got people in Australia,
Wow.
Argentina, all over Europe, North America, but I don't think there's a continent that we don't have people on. And so it's kind of 24/7. There's something happening somewhere.
So Slytherine's worldwide now.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. So anybody listening that wants, that's wondering like, hey, I probably have to move to Europe to get a job at Slitherine. No, you could apply now.
Yep. We pretty much always have the CVs up for certain jobs. So one of the jobs that we find it very hard to recruit for is the producer role. It's a combination. It's a partly technical role, partly project management role, but it requires a strong understanding of the subject matter, and finding people with a mix of those skills in the right subject matter is always a challenge. So finding experienced strategy game producers is probably one of our hardest roles to fill on my side, and Marco's probably got a different view of what's harder to fill from his side.
I think that most of the difficulties come from communication in general. I guess that I think it's now a year that we don't see each other, Ian. It's been a tough time, and although we are kind of modern, and when we started working remotely, people would look at us and say and think, how do you do that? How do you not work within the same office? And now it's very fashionable, and we're
Yeah.
we're now we're now very trendy.
Ahead of the curve.
Not because we want it, but it's communication is always something that strikes me as a big issue when you've got this remote work. It's very very good for day-to-day stuff, but when it comes to sort of planning and ideas and exchange of creativity and doing games, is a lot about that, right? And then that's where the problem starts.
I was going to say it's been increasingly difficult. So when people have got a clear idea of what they're doing, it's fine. It's when you're dealing with things you haven't dealt before or trying to create new processes, that's where we're finding it's most difficult, and onboarding people as well. So I think we added 8 people since October, and so we're growing quite quickly, and that is quite a struggle on lockdown.